Hello and welcome to the English Boost Zone. I'm really happy you're here today. Take a deep breath, relax, get comfortable. Today is different. We're not going to study grammar rules, we're not going to memorize vocabulary lists, we're not going to stress about perfect pronunciation. Today we're going to talk about your brain, we're going to talk about why you feel stuck, and we're going to fix it. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like there's a wall between your brain and your mouth? You know what you want to say, you can hear the sentence in your head, but when you try to speak, nothing comes out, or you panic and use simple, broken sentences instead. If that's you, I have good news. You're not bad at languages, you're not too old to learn, you're just stuck in a psychological trap. Today, we're going to break that wall down. We're going to cover 4 simple ideas that will change how you think about English. First, we will talk about why you understand English but can't speak it yet. Second, we'll learn the 80-20 rule, how to focus on the right words and stop wasting time. Third, we'll do exercises to stop translating in your head. And fourth, we'll talk about confidence and why your accent is actually fine. Find a comfortable place. Whether you're driving, walking, cooking, or just sitting at home, let this be a therapy session for your English brain. Let's begin. Let's start with the biggest frustration, the gap. You can watch movies in English, you understand what I'm saying right now, but when someone asks you a question, your mind goes blank. Why? I call this the iceberg problem. Think about an iceberg in the ocean. You can see a small piece above the water, that's your active vocabulary. These are words you can use right now when you speak. But below the water, there's a huge mountain of ice that nobody sees. That's your passive vocabulary. These are words you understand when you hear them or read them, but you never actually use them. Let me give you an example. You know the word frustrated, right? You understand it. But when you're speaking, you say angry instead. Then you feel bad. You think, why didn't I use the better word? My English is getting worse. But listen to me, your English is not getting worse. This gap is completely normal. Even native speakers have this gap. I understand the word photosynthesis. I learned it in school, but I almost never use it in daily conversation. It stays in my passive vocabulary. The problem is when your passive vocabulary is huge, maybe you can watch Netflix without subtitles, but your active vocabulary is tiny. You feel trapped inside your own mind. So how do we fix this? How do we move words from the bottom of the ocean to the top? How do we turn passive into active? Here's the truth, you cannot fix it by reading more, reading is passive. You cannot fix it by listening more, listening is also passive. You have to force the output, you have to speak. I'm going to teach you a simple technique. It's called the 3-second summary. Here's how it works. When you're listening to something in English, this podcast, a YouTube video, anything, pause it every few minutes. When you pause, you have 3 seconds. In those 3 seconds, say out loud what you just heard. Don't think about it, don't prepare it, just speak. Not in your head, out loud. Let's try it right now. I'm going to stop talking for 8 seconds. In that time, I want you to say out loud what the iceberg problem is. Just say it, even if it's not perfect. Ready, go. Did you do it, or did you just sit there quietly? If you stayed quiet, that's the problem right there. Passive learning feels safe. Active learning feels scary and uncomfortable. But to bridge the gap, you have to push words out of your mouth before you feel ready. You have to be okay with sounding imperfect. Here's what I want you to do starting today. Stop collecting words. You don't need more vocabulary lists. You need to activate the words you already have. Every time you learn a new word, use it 3 times that day. Say it out loud, use it in a sentence, text it to someone, force it to become active. Remember, understanding is not enough. You must practice speaking. Now that we know we need to activate our vocabulary, let's talk about which words to focus on. This is the second big idea, the 80-20 rule. In the business world, there's something called the Pareto principle. It says that 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort. And guess what? This applies perfectly to English. There are over 170,000 words in the English language. That sounds terrifying, right? If you try to learn all of them, you will fail. It's impossible. But here's the secret. Native speakers don't use 170,000 words. In daily life, at work, at the store, talking to friends, we use the same 1,000 to 2,000 words over and over again. About 20% of English words are used 80% of the time. Think about that. If you master just 20% of the language, you can understand and communicate 80% of the time. Many intermediate learners make a big mistake. They want to sound smart, so they learn rare, fancy words. They learn words like flabbergasted or ubiquitous. Cool words, yes, useful, not really. If you want to be fluent, you need to master the basics, the simple, common words. Let me give you an example. A beginner learns the verb get. They say, I get a coffee. An intermediate learner tries to stop using get because they think it's too simple. They say, I obtained a coffee or I acquired a coffee. They think this sounds better, more educated. But an advanced speaker realizes that get is one of the most powerful words in English. Listen to these expressions. Get up, wake up. Get over it, stop being upset. Get by, survive. Get along, have a good relationship. Get used to, become comfortable with. If you master the word get, you can express complex emotions and ideas. I can't get over how rude he was. That's high-level English using a basic word. Here's your big mental shift for this section. Stop trying to impress people with big words. Fluency isn't about knowing rare words. Fluency is about using common words with incredible flexibility and power. So what should you focus on? Focus on phrasal verbs. These are verbs with prepositions like give up, look after, run into. Native speakers use these constantly. Focus on collocations. These are words that naturally go together. Don't just learn the word decision, learn make a decision. Don't just learn opportunity, learn take an opportunity. Don't just learn mistake, learn make a mistake. These combinations are how native speakers actually talk. Here's a simple exercise you can do. Take 5 common verbs: make, take, do, have, get. Spend one day learning all the collocations for just one verb. For example, with make. Make a decision. Make a mistake. Make progress. Make sense. Make a difference. Make an effort. Just these 6 phrases will improve your English more than learning 50 random, fancy words. Master the 20%, the rest will follow naturally. We've talked about the vocabulary gap. We've talked about the 80-20 rule. Now we need to face the biggest enemy of fluent speaking, which is translation problem. Imagine your brain is a computer. When you speak your native language, the connection is direct and fast. You have an idea and it comes out of your mouth. Idea to mouth. Instant. But when you speak English, most of you have a translation step in the middle. It looks like this: idea, native language translation, grammar check, English, and finally you speak through mouth. This process takes time. It makes you pause, it makes you sound unnatural, and it makes you exhausted because your brain is working so hard. You've probably heard teachers say, just think in English, but nobody tells you how to do that. You can't just flip a switch in your brain, you need to train it. I'm going to give you 2 practical exercises to stop translating. Exercise 1, the narrative inner voice. Usually the voice inside your head speaks your native language. We need to change that. We need to hijack that inner voice. Here's what I want you to do. The next time you're doing a boring, simple task, washing dishes, taking a shower, walking to the store, cooking dinner, I want you to narrate what you're doing, but narrate it in English. Say things like, I'm turning on the water. The water is warm. I'm picking up the sponge. Now I'm washing this plate. I'm putting it on the drying rack. It sounds silly, I know, but if you do this for just 10 minutes a day, you're training your brain to connect actions and objects directly to English words. You're skipping your native language completely. Start simple, use present continuous tense, I am doing this, I am doing that. Don't worry about being perfect, just speak. Exercise 2, the visualization link. When I say the word apple, what happens in your brain? Do you see the word written in your native language, or do you see a round, red fruit? If you see the word in your native language first, we need to break that connection. I'm going to say some words. I want you to close your eyes and force yourself to see the image or feel the feeling, not the word. Ready? Beach, don't think of the letters, see the sand, see the ocean, feel the sun. Traffic, hear the car horns, see the red lights, feel the frustration. Exhausted, feel your heavy shoulders, feel your tired eyes. Excited, feel your heart beating faster, feel that energy in your chest. This is how you stop translating. You link English sounds directly to concepts and feelings, not to words in your language. When you want to say you're exhausted, don't search for the word in your native language first. Go directly to the feeling and let the English word come from that feeling. This takes practice. It won't happen overnight, but if you practice visualizing instead of translating, your speaking speed will improve dramatically. Here's one more tip: change your phone language to English. Change your computer to English. Surround yourself with English in small ways. Your brain will slowly start to think in English naturally. We're almost at the end, but we need to talk about something important: the emotional side of speaking English. Many of you feel like when you speak English, you feel fake. You feel like everyone is judging you. You feel embarrassed about your accent. Let me tell you something important. Your accent is not a problem. Your accent is your identity. Your accent is your history. There's a big difference between pronunciation and accent. Pronunciation is physical. If you say sink instead of think, that's a pronunciation problem. People might not understand you. You should work on that. Accent is musical. It's the rhythm and melody of your native language that you bring into English. You can have a French accent or an Indian accent or a Chinese accent or a Brazilian accent and still be 100% fluent and completely understandable. The problem is not your accent, the problem is your apology. Stop apologizing for your English. When you say, "Sorry, my English is bad," you're telling the listener, don't focus on what I'm saying, focus on how I'm saying it. Notice my mistakes. Don't do that to yourself. When you can't find a word, don't say sorry, say give me a second, or say it's on the tip of my tongue. These are things native speakers say too. This is the psychology of confidence. If you act confident, people will believe you're fluent even if you make grammar mistakes. Let me tell you a story. I once met a man from France. His English grammar wasn't perfect. He made mistakes, but he spoke with confidence. He told jokes. He made people laugh. He never apologized. And you know what? Nobody cared about his mistakes. Everyone loved talking to him because he was confident and interesting. Compare that to someone I met who had perfect grammar but apologized constantly. "Sorry, I don't know if that's right. Sorry, my English is terrible." That person's English was actually excellent, but the constant apologizing made everyone uncomfortable. Fluency is not perfection, fluency is connection. If you can tell a joke in English, you're fluent. If you can comfort a friend in English, you're fluent. If you can explain your ideas and people understand you, you're fluent. Don't let the fear of sounding foreign stop you from speaking. The world speaks English with thousands of different accents. You fit right in. Here's what I want you to remember. English is not owned by England or America. English is a global language. It belongs to everyone who speaks it. Your version of English is valid. Think about, he's one of the most famous people in America. Does he have a thick Austrian accent? Yes. Does anyone care? No. He's confident, successful, and he communicates clearly. Or think about, or Jackie, or they all have accents. They're all successful and respected. Your accent makes you unique. It makes you interesting. Own it. Let's review what we learned today. First, we talked about the iceberg problem. You understand English, but you can't speak it because your words are stuck in passive mode. To fix this, you must force yourself to speak out loud. Use the 3-second summary technique. Stop collecting words and start activating them. Second, we learned the 80-20 rule. Don't waste time on rare, fancy words. Master the common words. Focus on phrasal verbs and collocations. Master the basics with incredible flexibility. Third, we learned how to stop translating. Use the narrative inner voice, narrate your daily activities in English. Use the visualization link. Connect English words to images and feelings, not to your native language. And fourth, we talked about confidence. Your accent is fine, stop apologizing. Fluency is not perfection, fluency is connection. Learning English is not just about memorizing words and rules. It's about building a new version of yourself, a version that is confident, capable, and ready to connect with the world. Remember, your English is a tool, not a test. Go out there and use it. Make mistakes, be imperfect, be confident. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you found this helpful, please subscribe. It helps more than you know. I'll see you in the next episode. Keep speaking, keep growing. Goodbye for now.